Today I'm trading in the Palmetto State Armory 300 Blackout along with all these Palmetto State Armory metal mags. Howdy, Practical Patriots and Practical Preppers out there. Grüß aus, Texas. Hey, Johnny Practical Nurse. Okay, let me show you what I exchanged that rifle for. All right, I wanted to stick with 300 Blackout. Why? Because I love 30 caliber bullets. Just do 7.62 by 39. 300 Blackout, 308, 7.62. I've always loved what a 30 caliber bullet can do. This is an upper by Bear Creek Arsenal. I decided I wanted to give it a chance because it came in at a really great price. Look at this thing. This is a 10.5-inch barrel. No predator, y'all. Just so y'all, no predator I have ever engaged out here on the farm. Coyote, feral hogs, anything, okay, was ever past 100 meters. It was, one was so close to be within 10 feet of me. Now, the lower here is Arrow Precision, okay, which I got from my good friend over there, Michael Wong, over at Aim 7 Tactical. And the optic I picked up from Dimitri over there at Texas Shooter Supply. This is the HS403B as in Bravo. Hey, check it. If you're around that area, man, check them out. Central Texas. Check these guys out. Dimitri's a really awesome guy. Texas Shooter Supply. Now, that said, why 300 Blackout? Well, you have to know the history behind 300 Blackout because it can do so much more than you would expect. 300 Blackout is a very easily platform that can be suppressed. Comes in multiple grain weights. I want to say, if I remember the history part of it right, it was developed by Special Forces who needed a 30 caliber round in a package that was readily adaptable with kind of an AR lower using standard AR mags. Now, do yourself a favor. If you put 300 Blackout ammunition in a standard mag, please label it. All right, prevent a disaster. Okay, label those mags 300 somehow way that you can. All right. That said, also I want to include this information. You know, Mrs. Practical and I are not youngies. Okay, we're in our 60s, and I'm surprised the American with Disabilities Act has not jumped on this. But this is a perfect platform for homestead defenders, us older folks out in the boonies. Why is that? It's lighter. It's, it's a little bit better balanced. You're not lugging it around something with a 16 or a 20-inch barrel. This one's a 10.5. 9 inches for a 300 Blackout is probably about the sweet spot for anything that's about 100 meters or less. Or 100 yards, whichever you want to call it. So this is why I think that older folks like me who have homesteads, we have Central Texas, we do have predator problems. This right here to me would be the perfect option. Now, let's give this thing a try. Bear Creek Arsenal. All right, let's see what she'll do. I want to thank my good friends over there, Scotty and Benjamin over there at GoldenEye Brass, for having great prices on ammunition, and they're the ones who make it happen for me. If you're in the Central Texas area and you know there's a gun show going on, hook up my friends Ben and Scotty, okay? GoldenEye Brass. They'll make a great deal for you. Let's head out to the range, lock and load, and rock this thing. Okay, so Mrs. Practical and I are out here on the range. We're going to be using some Ammo Incorporated, some Wolf Steel, 300 Blackout, and some of this hodgepodge stuff I found at a gun show. That said, Bear Creek Arsenal does not recommend that you use steel-cased ammunition. However, they do understand if that's all you can find. So there it is. All right, so we're going to pump about 300 rounds downrange and see what we can do with this, all right? All right, let's try to hit some steel downrange and see what we got. You got to try this.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Okay. Now, this trigger is really light. I'm just warning you, okay? This is something that Michael Wong put together for us.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah. Hey, babe, you know what's really cool about that 300 Blackout upper?
What?
Okay, the same 300 Blackout upper, I'm sorry, not, bolt carrier group, okay? The same bolt carrier group that is in a 300 Blackout upper is the same bolt carrier group that's in a 5.56 AR upper. Which means I could take the bolt carrier group out of your Bad Omen rifle and use it in the average 300 Blackout AR upper.
I don't think so.
Okay, none of y'all gonna happen?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, here's the thing about this being hindsight 2020. Notice this one. This one's got that charging handle on the side. So it wouldn't work anyway. In hindsight being 2020, what I should have did was got the one that had the rear charging handle, just like a typical AR.
Right.
This is probably good as a novelty right here. The charging handle right here. It's probably good, but hindsight being 2020, probably the next one I get will probably have the charging handle that's typical with an AR pull to the rear. Just FYI.
Cool.
So I ran into somebody else who happens to have one of these 300 Blackout Bear Creek Arsenal uppers, who said he had a little bit of trouble running subsonic loads on it. How about we load some up into a magazine and see what happens? So the box didn't have exactly 20 rounds. I want to say there's like 15 rounds or so in there. So let's give this a try. Let's see if we have the same issue. Nice light recoil too. Empty. I think it's interesting how that's an easy compact package for people yours and my age. And it's just something I would recommend. And bravo to Bear Creek Arsenal for having that upper. And I really want to say that this so far has been really amazing. This has been a good test. We've been through about 450 rounds so far.
Yeah.
And because we've been shooting it for about how long? About a week or so? Yeah, off and on, coming out here to the range when we get a break from work and stuff. But so far, that's been a really good experience. I really like that upper, and it's going to stay. Even though I did say, if you're going to get one with a rear charging handle. That way you can change out to another bolt carrier group. And as I said, if it's 300 Blackout, 5.56, they're interchangeable. Firing pin. Shelly, pros about that 300 Blackout upper.
Very fast, very consistent. It's just, you barely pull the trigger.
Squeeze trigger.
Yeah.
And it's light.
And it just goes. It's not heavy. It doesn't have a lot of recoil like I expected it
Good,
to.
because people like our age, we worry about recoil, shoulders, that kind of thing. And there wasn't really a lot of recoil.
No.
It was probably a little bit more than
surprised.
your 5.56 Bad Omen firearm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And we did not have steel case ammunition, brass, whatever. Hollow points, we had no issues with any of them, stuck casings or anything. As a matter of fact, you saw that previous one where I had used the subsonic.
Yeah.
Because like one of my friends said he had a problem with subsonic load. I ran through 20 rounds with no problem with that, but we'll keep testing this one.
Yeah.
We'll keep testing this one, try it, and if there's ever any issues, we will report them off now. Doing this, the 300 Blackout Bear Creek Arsenal upper has encouraged us to try this one, which is the 7.60 by 39, same model, same charging handle on the side. However, do yourself a good favor. Please wait for that review to come out before you go out and purchase one. This one, the 300 Blackout, yeah, good, 250 bones, or a little bit less actually, shipping, handling,
Right.
FFL, blah, 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 You can get it directly through Bear Creek Arsenal or just your local mom and pop shop. But as far as I'm concerned, for a truck gun, for a Jeep gun, just a plain banging around gun, range gun, yeah, absolutely. I think it works great.
I like it.
So they do come with a bad history and whatnot, but I think their quality control has definitely kind of stepped up to the plate on that one. So definitely, I would definitely probably encourage people, if they were interested in getting a 300 Blackout, and every homestead should have a 30 caliber. I don't care what kind it is, because if you got to go downtown and knock it down, 30 caliber is your round. That said, questions, comments. Until we see you again, I'm Johnny. This is Shelly. I'm the Practical Nurse, Mrs. Practical. Out here.